We're going live.
Hey, everybody.
Going live. We are live.
Hey, folks, welcome. It is Monday. It's been a toasty weekend for everybody.
Yep.
Mostly our boy Colin here.
Yeah, he had a little bit of
a
rough couple days, so we decided in solidarity to all dress as on. We've lost him. I think we've lost him.
Clear. What's up, guys?
Colin, welcome.
I
appreciate.
How we doing?
We're doing good. How you do? I'm glad you're doing your best to speak at full volume. Much appreciated.
That's all I got. This is all I got, man. And if I go any higher, I'm gonna sound like a 13-year-old.
Just cracking out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted to hear it.
All right, I'll try. What did
your boy was at Sound and Fury Fest all weekend?
I really was, dude. It was like noon to noon both days. You know, noon to reverse noon, 2 days in a row.
Absolutely, 36-7.
It was the best. They see there it is. I'm 13. It was the best. I loved it. We did a shit ton of hard lore interviews, so those were cool.
Awesome.
Very eclectic range of people. Jordan, I gotta ask you this: have you heard Cola Boy?
I saw you post about him, and I think I recognized him a little bit, but give everybody context.
Cola Boy is like this unbelievable. He's like a disabled punk who started making these like disco, just rock fucking masterpieces. And let me tell you, and the bass player of Nails plays bass. I'll send you some links after the show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm searching this up now.
Yeah, it's John.
John Glue from Nails plays bass. And it is like, he played in the middle of the day yesterday, and it was like just the ultimate palate cleanser. And like the response was really good. And then
so much fun.
And then he and I spoke for like 15 minutes after for Knotfest, so that'll be here eventually. And he's like the coolest dude. So that was nice. But yeah, yesterday was awesome. Oh my god.
It's gonna be flatlining, but
true.
But yeah, we love to see it. Alicia, what'd you do all weekend?
Yeah, so as
cool
a part
stuff?
of my definitely, I was actually down in Nashville. So as a part of my Worsties project with my frenemy Worstie Natalia, we were down there. We rented a barn and did a ton of photo shoots, and then went downtown Nashville for a signing with Teddy Long. He's doing a bunch of stuff with us now. Yeah, he's doing a bunch of stuff with us. So we went on his podcast on this beautiful rooftop downtown and got to talk with him, shoot the shit for a little bit. And then from there, we walked around, ran to a bunch of wrestling buddies that we knew, and it was just a really good time. So crazy weekend, super busy, but I'm definitely wrestled out after all of that.
Yeah.
But next
well,
thing you know,
are you ready to talk
right
about? Are you ready to talk about wrestling for 40 minutes now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We got to get into it, folks. We got a lot to talk about, but first up, I think the most recent thing that has happened match-wise is I think we got to get into Ric Flair's last match. Alicia, you were down there. What did you think? What was the vibe? Tell the people.
Yeah, so I wasn't in person for that match. However, I knew a lot of people who were going there, whether for StarCast or to actually see that match in person. And I'm just going to put it down to this. There are some things that just don't really need to happen. And I think this was one of them. I think for a big part of that, the reason it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And weirdly enough, I was speaking with my dad about this earlier today. We're kind of saying, like, we love thinking about Flair in his heyday. It's like any band that you see, you go to see them later on, you're like, man, this is really hard to watch. I'll just close my eyes and like hope the songs sound all right. So when you kind of got to see the highlights and watch through it, it was really difficult to watch. I mean, I'm praising Andrade and for carrying that whole thing straight up from the clips that I saw, and was kind of like looking at in between, it seems like they were setting everything up for the spots. Anytime you thought that Flair was going to take something, you would throw one of those two guys in the way. So it was kind of a lot of tit for tat, kind of waiting for something to happen. Of course, he bled a little bit. Everyone expected it. But even from that entrance, like, which I know we'll get to later on, even from that entrance, just watching him walk, I'm like, how is he going to do anything?
The
how
walk.
Oh my god.
That's the only thing I've seen, and I'm kind of obsessed with it.
In like a bad, I can't stop.
It's
watching
wild.
It way.
Like the reveal of the original Crumrine belt was, for me, I was like, okay, sick. But every other aspect where he's just like, fuck, like going down there and clearly struggling is pretty great.
Yeah, there was one spot though where he actually faked a heart attack in order to have a distraction, and then they ended up pulling him over on Lethal in that scenario.
That's awesome.
I thought was pretty hilarious. If you're not able to wrestle, at least have some spots where you're like, all right, focus is on me, I'm doing something. But it just didn't need to happen. It just felt like such a cheap little money grab, and I just I didn't need it.
I mean,
sounds so funny.
I listened to.
But go ahead.
Did you hear Conrad's? Conrad was on a podcast about it, and he was like asking other promotions if they were gonna run a show that Sunday. It was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was asking everybody. He asked every single promotion, like, why is nobody running a show on Sunday when WWE is doing Saturday? Like, you're gonna have tens of thousands of people here. So the idea of the show, Ric Flair stuff aside, is kind of like the ultimate no-brainer, just having a big kind of all-in indie show.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But then, the Ric Flair aspect is insane. So what can you do? I understand being like the geographically why it happened. And it seems like every promotion was really cool about giving their guys for matches.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's cool, but yeah, I haven't watched the Flair match yet, but man, loved the entrance.
The only thing I've seen is I saw Effie do the Dudley Boys spot. It was a rough.
Okay, I just saw that too.
I saw that and I was like, it was a rough weekend for me. There was like a family funeral, so I just was not in a headspace to watch like like an old man be doing stuff that he probably shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't like the heart attack spot. Hilarious. It does feel that with a lot of these like real injuries in the match thing, it feels like we're flying a little bit too close to the sun. And what I mean by the sun is making people watch someone die in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are inching closer to that being like, we're going to see that shit.
Yeah. Mad Icarus vibes these days,
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Icarus for real. He's just like me.
Icarus's wings are definitely a pacemaker running out of batteries.
Straight up,
know what I'm saying? But yeah, listen, I'm glad Colin. The thing I'm most excited about is that Colin got to see that goddamn belt. Hell yeah, man!
Oh, that was huge for me.
I saw
big
your text
moment
come
for
through,
Colin.
and I was like, he was so happy in that moment
because he turned around and I was like, man, this is hilarious. Because he's like fiddling with the robe and like struggling to untie it, and then he turned around and I was like, oh shit!
The whole entrance was a struggle.
It was, but then that's it, and it's so funny that like it's kind of beautiful that he's tagging with his son-in-law on a son, or is it a son-in-law? That's the word, right? Son-in-law. Yeah. Tagging with his son-in-law on a show put on by his other son-in-law. Kind of amazing.
Yeah.
It's smart. I mean, if you have all the tools, right? Why not put them together?
It was a family affair.
Yeah, this was like, how old is Ric Flair? Like 77?
90, 12.
Yeah. 9,000 years old. Whatever like the 9,000 version of like a quinceañera is, that's what this show was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A 19th
a 9.
A nuevins. What is 90? 80, 90.
Yeah.
He's 73.
Man, he is a rough. That is a rough 73. I think my dad is technically older than Ric Flair, and
technically,
my dad.
What? Is
I'm
there some
trying
other
to
way
remember.
to gauge age?
I'm trying to remember if my dad is 72 or 73, right?
That's fucked up, man. You know how I sometimes I forget if my dad is like the age he is or the age before. So I think about his birth year. What's your dad's birth year?
I can't see. I can't
See?
remember it. Right
Bad
now.
son.
Yeah. All right. Bad
son.
Well,
It's established.
Yeah.
Well. Speaking of like, listen, we're moving on from a bad son to a good dad because Triple H might have lured Sasha Banks and Naomi back to the WWE. Papa H changing the game. How you guys feeling about it?
I think maybe because of the change in command, they potentially thought, okay, things can get better. It always seemed like their relationship with him in specific was very strong. You don't see all of those backstage photographs, the way that he would praise them. So maybe once Vince was out and he was more so in more than ever at this point, they kind of thought, okay, we can make something work. So with that in play, potentially different money deals, who knows, renegotiating contracts, it all could have just lined up. So why leave a place like that if it's actually better than it was before you left?
So true, Queen. Well said. Honestly, this will transition into SummerSlam eventually. But if I was on that roster and I even saw that show, I'd be like, I think we're in good hands.
100%. I think that I feel like the change in guard is I mean, this is good news in my opinion for like all wrestlers. I mean, you know, the CM Punk viewpoint of like nothing might change mentality that could 100% be true. I could eat these words, but right now it seems that, you know, this can only benefit our buddies in the sport. There's gonna be higher bids because people have a lot to prove right now. Both major companies have a lot to push, and it's only gonna lead to just the like wrestlers getting more money, more opportunities. Good stuff.
So true, King.
Yeah.
What's your nickname, Colin? We need one for you now.
I'm the fucking jester right now.
The executioner up in here.
Dude. Executing myself in this chair.
Our boy, David A. Lopez, saying that it's a Saventa Trace Iniera.
So true.
Is what
David
is.
I so like a family of Flair too is very good.
A family of Flair. Ben Lampert. Incredible stuff.
Good work.
Yeah.
Very pro. But yeah, Naomi and Sasha.
Everybody's going off in the chat. Let's transition into SummerSlam, the first pay-per-view of the Triple H era, probably, and honestly, probably the show so far out of the three that has the most Triple H fingerprints all over it, especially starting with the
opening.
First match, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. In my opinion, the best Becky Lynch match I've ever seen. Ever. Alicia, what do you think?
I was about to, I'm glad you threw me because we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, how it's really difficult when you're wrestling Bianca to be on that level. And we all know that Becky can bring it. Her promos have been incredible, but it's just the athleticism of Bianca is untouchable. So seeing that brought on both ends this time, like that was so fun to watch. Like they were giving everything that they had in there. And technically it was such a sound match throughout the entire thing. Like when you have that many spots going on, especially a lot of mat stuff too, it's really easy for it to just go completely off, like in a lot of bad ways. And we did see that in a couple matches with different spots. But tonight, like it was just beautiful. It really, and everyone was beckoning back to other matches that she had, saying like this was prime Becky again. That was so cool to see.
This was I'm just gonna. This is what I was gonna text you guys, and then I said, at first I was like, I don't have the energy to say this on the show, but then I changed my mind. I welled up when this match ended.
Yeah.
Just because it was A, so good. B, it was like Bianca finally officially slayed the dragon in the castle where she lost. Becky with the handshake. Oh my God. And then I am like number 1 Bailey stan. And there's number 2. So
yeah, everything after too
was
thing
fucking
1 and thing 2
incredible. That was like Triple H is here, baby. You know?
Yeah.
That was also where I was kind of thinking, is there any chance in this moment when they brought back those 2 ladies, I thought, okay, are we potentially going to see some backup from Sasha and Naomi? I was like, is this going to happen? Of course it didn't. And then all this news is unraveling today. But I was like, is this maybe some like foreshadowing to them coming back?
I hope Sasha is number 30 in the Rumble and we don't hear a peep until then.
That would be pretty dope. Yeah.
That'd be sick. It would be great.
And then I hope Naomi is like challenging for the title at the Rumble and then they're at Mania together.
I would love it. I also heard that Becky got injured and she wrestled this whole match with her shoulder.
Her shoulder,
out.
Right?
That's
her shoulder was out the whole match, which is insane because, dude, the like leg drop into the power bomb off the ropes was straight up one of the sickest spot of the night. I will say,
crazy.
Like, it's wrestling spot.
Yeah.
The like unbelievable stuff, and she's doing it with her shoulder out of her body. Becky was on straight up on another level this evening. But if she can't be wrestling, I'm all for Bianca's
give her one of these
squad. Give her the protection.
No, microphone.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. I said I could feel you slowly going right before you press it.
What?
Either way, well, I was gonna say her protection should be Naomi and Sasha if they can't build it.
That would be wild.
Like that's a good trio. Like Bailey, Io, and Dakota versus doing some trios business with Sasha, Naomi, and Bianca. I would love to see it. I'm here for that as well. But like Sasha's got to win the Rumble this year. That in IMO.
That'd be huge.
3 year.
That would be massive. And the thing too that's kind of cool and seeing Dakota and Io come back is it opens the door to thinking who else that was recently let go might actually walk through these doors again, especially with that Rumble. We could see so many returns because they were some of Triple H's golden children. I mean, like, look at someone, even though she's with AEW now, like the Tony Storms that were released and all of these different people who you knew were like this with Triple H. You have no idea who's going to come back. So that's going to be really, really interesting to keep an eye on going forward.
So true.
Yeah, this felt like SummerSlam 92 mixed with an NXT takeover, like this beginning match. This specifically, which is honestly as big a praise as I can get. I don't know if it gets like if there is bigger praise for an opener. Like Colin's welling up, you know.
I was upset. I was obsessed with every second of this match.
Every second.
I don't know how like I haven't every WWE show I've watched in the past maybe 3 years has been like gritting my teeth and I've survived it is how I felt, you know?
Yeah, it's been ever since Nakamura won the Rumble, every other pay-per-view has been
you
make it through it.
Like fight or flight, and I choose flight generally. But I fucking loved. I don't know what it was, man. Just right away, it just seemed magical. And it was.
I think it's because there was actually good wrestling and good storytelling. And usually in wrestling matches nowadays, one of those two key pieces is no more. So you had both of those, and I think just like breaking it down bare bones, that's why it came across so well.
An actual year-long story told.
With
Incredible.
some payoff. Finally.
With the only thing they needed to do being done, which is like way more than you can say a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was my match of the night by a
mile.
By a country mile.
A country mile, because we are in Nayville.
Yeah.
My guys.
It's true.
Moving on, we are contractually obligated to talk about Logan Paul versus The Miz.
Yo,
Contractually obligated.
Logan Paul is too good at wrestling already.
It's baffling to me. I have watched so many seminars, so many training courses, so many just live indie shows in general, along with WWE ones. And I have rarely ever seen a person pick up wrestling as quickly as he has, from a technical aspect, from just the agility that he brings into that ring, and how flawless he is going into those transitions. I could not believe it. And then that beautiful frog slash onto the table. I was like, give me more. There was just the one figure four he did where he tripped up ever so slightly.
I feel like he did it like kind of backwards.
Right.
Like the process was backwards, and he was like, all right, I guess I'll just keep going.
But then you have Cole and Graves on commentary who each had their own friend in the ring. And I was like, this adds such a wonderful dynamic. Like sometimes I don't even care about the commentary because it adds nothing. This told such a good story. Like each of them were cheering on their buddy in the ring. Like this was my favorite match because I saw what Logan was doing in the past, but did not expect this caliber. Yeah. And it was just like, holy shit. Like he's better than majority of wrestlers out there. Dare I say it? People rip me a new one, but he is. He's a natural.
Two things. The only guy I can think of to compare Logan Paul to, legitimately, I might get some heat for this, Kurt Angle. In terms of an actual natural athlete who was like, this just makes sense to me. And just immediately adapted and sponged everything. This is his second match. And like, I go to indie shows all the time. If I saw him at PWG or something, it would be like this kid's gonna be a millionaire in wrestling.
Yeah.
Second thing, Michael Cole, without Vince McMahon in his ear, is perhaps the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's operating on an unthinkable level now. I'm like so blown away by Michael Cole on this show and this past week on TV. You can hear in his voice that like an anvil has been lifted out of his jock.
Like for 30 years.
30 years, dude.
Can you imagine?
No. Literally.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. All right, I'll throw some heat on this, I guess.
We love some heat.
I will say, here's what I am going to say. Logan Paul has, like, it's technically his second match, but the dude has been in the WWE system, probably training, like, since WrestleMania in Tampa, like, training to do this. He's clearly, like, a gifted athlete, but he's had a lot more time than most, like a year and a half of training to get ready to do something like this. And also just on paper, he's famous, but like WWE is a little flooded with like unlikable, very good wrestlers.
Yeah,
like,
but dude,
a lot of those guys.
Signing Logan Paul is like a next level no-brainer.
It really is. And at the same time, to kind of like touch on the fact that he has been working behind the scenes even potentially a year and a half, I have seen some of the same guys at indie shows for like the last 4 years who have not improved. So even behind the scenes, if he's been doing that for 2 years, like the caliber of what he is doing in such a short amount of time still, like
crazy.
It blew my mind.
I have Alicia, you've done it. I have trained in wrestling very briefly.
Yeah.
A cup of coffee.
Sucks. It's hard.
It's fucking hard. There are Olympians who quit. You know?
Yep.
There are NFL linebackers who never make it to TV.
And MMA fighters.
And
everybody.
a year and a half is like impressive to debut on TV. And he's operating it. I'm not a fan of the guy, you know, by any means. I think he's a loser, but I think he's very good at wrestling.
Oh yeah, no, this is all like I should say. Most people are saying like his past aside. I'm saying his good wrestling aside. like I just like, yeah, he's good. But I feel like if I was on a creative team and it's like, all right, you have to get babyface Logan Paul over, I would be like, oh my God.
Yeah, I agree.
The work we're gonna have, like, how do you?
That's true.
It seems like an impossible task. He's a good wrestler. He contractually is obligated to be a babyface. It seems like just so impossible.
But by the end of the match, everybody was cheering because it was just so good.
I think we also, like, dude, we gotta give a little bit more credit to the Miz also, because he made Bad Bunny look amazing, and he made the Miz look amazing twice. Like,
Absolutely.
the Miz is the shit. I'm a Miz guy. We know, like, people
I've always been.
He's good, and that is honestly, it's the right feud to do with Logan Paul, like an unlikable reality internet guy against an unlikable reality TV guy. It makes a ton of sense to have them as the feud. They are parallels of each other. But yeah, Logan Paul is good at wrestling. A lot of people are very good at wrestling, so it's competitive out there. And people only give you credit for being a good wrestler for so long before they're like, all right, what else do you have to connect? So he succeeded. He's flying colors at this aspect of it, but like we'll see. To me, this is a Herculean task, but who knows?
I agree, but I mean, when you have he's like an actual celebrity, and when a celebrity is good, ends up being good at the thing, people like it.
Yeah.
When you respect really their world, yeah, that's true. I mean, I get you there, but then she wasn't
at wrestling.
You know.
Well, she wasn't good at being like a baby. I'm curious to see after tonight
how things will transpire.
Let's move on to speaking of unlikable people they're trying to get over. We got to talk about Bobby Lashley versus Theory. Boy, Alicia, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I love a good moment where someone just gets the shit beat out of them, you know? I feel like everyone knew that this was going to get cashed in tonight, but I didn't know how things would kind of transpire towards the end. I don't know. I didn't know what they were going to do now that Vince was gone, because everyone does say he's the golden child. He's the one that Vince was pushing the most throughout everything. So I didn't know with Triple H coming in, if they would still have the focus on him, if they would let him keep the briefcase for a hot minute. But I read this really interesting article, and I kind of didn't know if this was intentional or not, but he, on the way up to the ropes, actually dropped the case, right? And I didn't know if that was like foreshadowing, someone said, in terms of him dropping everything that night. I'm like, that's genius if
like
it
dropping
is.
Like the ball.
Touches. Can you imagine though? But I don't know. I thought it was all right. It was kind of a bit of a snoozer, but I did like seeing the beat down, you know? So that it wasn't like a huge thing for me. I watched it, thought it was okay, and on to the next.
Yeah, it wasn't like an exciting match by any means, but it I don't know, I guess it continues the story of this guy eating shit while also being in this position to be the top guy.
Yeah.
It's interesting. A good
way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a confusing thing. Like, we all know I'm not a Theory guy because he's a traitor to the balding community. Not the bald, just the balding. He left us in the dust. Show us
your head right now, Jordan. Represent for the community. That's my man. Good for you. Live strong, right, brother?
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's messy as shit right now, but you know.
But here's the thing. A guy from your community saved Nakatomi Plaza, okay?
Yeah. So I'm fine with it. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna be like me, Mox, like, we got it. We're gonna hold it.
It's always you and Mox. You guys are ride or die.
Mox is holding on for dear life, and man, I respect him.
Until it doesn't look adorable, until it completely detaches and is a little island.
Until you are Homer Simpson.
I was gonna ask, like, how do you know? What's the point of no return where you just have to cut your losses?
when you have the little line, like,
or just
this isn't a
circle.
fair. Like, I'm gonna look weird right now because I've been wearing, a hood and whatnot.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
When you're fully bald and you do the Gorsenio paint, are you gonna paint your whole head?
I probably will be retired from Gorsenio.
No. You gotta paint the whole head one time.
Yeah, it has to be done.
Yeah, I would probably go like I would go Bronson with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Fair.
like I would probably accessorize a little bit more. Like
paint your whole head once.
I would paint my whole head, and I'll probably like add some like gloves.
Okay.
A la Bronson. I think it'll be fun.
Sure.
I see the vision.
Yeah.
With the mustache. Very good.
But either way.
What was next on SummerSlam?
Oh, well, either let's move the fuck on. Whatever. Like, I'm a Bobby Lashley guy.
Yeah,
I think he's great. I think he's a lot of fun. He's a good big guy who we've seen that he can be booked incredibly in like a TNA or whatever. And I do want to see him get like a really good big guy run sometime soon.
A hero to the bald community.
Yes.
Oh my God. There's no one balder.
Yeah.
You got no eyebrows.
Exactly.
And it looks unbelievable.
And he looks dead sexy.
He's rocking it.
Yeah.
That is the part I'm looking forward to least, is like, once I'm bald, I'm like, well, I have to be jacked. I gotta get jacked.
Sorry.
I'm like, prepare. I gotta join you in the like 3 hour working out 3 hours a day. I'm not excited, but like,
just hit me up when you're ready, man.
It's inevitable.
I gotta figure out the hot Kumail regimen for
Dude.
like how.
Well, Kumail's regimen was an insane cocktail of performance enhancing drugs, so we can do that too if you want.
Well, here's the thing. I just like he's a comedian, so I'm like, how does a comedian get jacked? How do you put it? Like, how do you go from
just laugh really fucking hard? Flex your ass.
Get those abs going.
All right, now we're moving on to the Judgment Day versus the Mysterios.
Oh Lord!
Like what are we thinking? Really, right?
Yeah. Beat down and then shenanigans.
I was about to say the most exciting part for me were the shenanigans at the end. Like that was the only real part. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually going off a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was weird because there were some fantastic matches throughout this night, and I absolutely love the Mysterios. Like even from interviewing them personally and Ray multiple times. Like ever since being a kid, love them. But yeah, there was something that was maybe missing for me during that one, just a bit of charisma, and I don't know.
Which is just crazy because Finn Balor is Finn Balor, and I'm sure at some point, all three of us were like, "Well, this is the guy. This is the next guy."
Yeah,
he looks like a fucking action figure.
Beautiful,
Damian Priest,
a hero to the balding
community.
To the balding
community.
Also, similar. Like I love me Finn Balor,
and the fact that he's leading like a dark, scary group. If you told me that 5 years ago, I'd be like, all right, wrestling is saved. But the fact that it's like I'm not interested in it is kind of mind blowing. And then Mr. Edgelord came back.
With all brood like vibes, attire, the flames. I liked the aesthetic of it. I didn't really see much of the purpose. I mean, how many times do we have to pop for that return?
Yeah.
But
I'm not. The period of wrestling that I tapped out on was when Edge was like the top guy.
Oh, really?
So I don't really correlate Edge with that.
Oh.
Now I see him as the guy that ripped off House of Black and the guy from the TLC matches. So at least it's fun. I wonder if he asked to be removed from Judgment Day because he did. Are you serious?
Yeah,
really?
He asked.
So
he legit.
Wow.
He chose. He was like, I don't think that I don't think that Judgment Day was directly his idea, or I think the concept of like I would like to lead like a spooky post brood thing I think he didn't. He literally was like, "Can you kick me out of my own group because I hate this creative?" That's literally what he did.
Wow.
And now he's like, I think he literally was like, "Can I do the Brood again?"
Oh, okay.
I think that's what he originally asked to do, and they were like, "No, you'll do this thing." And he might have ripped them off intentionally, or it could have been bad creative. We won't know.
We know.
Yeah. But we really know.
Yeah.
We don't need to defend Edge.
We don't need to get into all that, but anyway, the match existed, and that's about all we can say, huh?
It happened.
Short-haired. I like that the jacket was also short.
It was.
The hair.
It's like a coal miner jacket.
Like, yeah, it's he looked a little hilarious to me. It's just not. It didn't land.
Did you guys see that?
It was not for me.
The catatonic youths thing that was like.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm ready.
It reminded me of Edge, where Bret Michaels on military vets.
Oh yeah.
What they do is why I get to dress the way I do. That's Edge's Gears vibe.
100%.
Because of the military, I get to wear this short red coal mining jacket. Somehow.
Oh my God.
I love how we're focusing on the attire so much more than what actually happened during that.
Yeah,
it
says
something.
What? Because that's all about what comes next. It ain't even like we're taught by WWE to like not care about what's currently happening, but just be like, oh, okay, I wonder where this will go. So with this thing, it's like, okay, I wonder where this will go. We'll see.
We'll see.
We shall see.
We're going to pivot all the way back around to celebrities because we're talking about Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin. Talk about a celebrity who has got themselves the fuck over.
Crazy.
Pittsburgh, like, mascot, Pat McAfee. Literally, like, he should be just the mascot for Sheets. Should he not?
Oh, absolutely.
I want him to have the Jimmy, like how Brock had Jimmy Johns. I want Sheets on Pat McAfee.
Has he gone on record to talk about Sheets?
There's no way he isn't.
I agree, but some people don't think about food the way we do, Jordan.
My best friend from Pittsburgh is literally like, I have never had Wawa, and that's just the way it is. My girlfriend is from Philly. She's never had Sheets. It is real. I mean, it's real. They won't even touch it.
No, it's like both completely have like a thing against the other. I'm being from Canada. I remember, it's weird. It might have actually been Every Time I Die guys telling me about this a hot minute ago. But they're like, have you ever had Sheets before? I'm like, no, never. And then I remember trying that and Wawa and not understanding the big debate and the hatred that people who love Sheets have for Wawa and vice versa. Like,
Andy's a Sheets guy, so
it's a thing.
So there you go.
To me, it's got to be. I have not had Sheets yet because my girlfriend is like, I won't go. I have to like make a solo venture all the way to Pittsburgh to try it one day.
And who's doing that?
Wow.
You know?
I'm doing it. Okay. I'll go by myself. I don't give a shit.
It is still very much a gas station. Just keep that in mind.
What is
it?
Wawa.
Big trek.
Wawa is not technically a gas station. They're originally just a sandwich shop.
Now it's
just
a gas
convenience store. Now they have gas. Yeah. Now they have gas stations. Because like, you gotta whatever when it's not directly in the little town. But either way, Pat McAfee, he's not as graceful in the ring as Logan Paul, but like
he's fun.
clearly
fun.
That does not fucking matter.
No.
He's so much fun, this guy. I love him.
Absolutely obsessed with him too. And it's like could not care less about. I mean, and this is difficult because Baron Corbin is like a twitching tongues guy. So he's to me. I'm down with Baron Corbin, the guy. Happy Corbin, the idea is just wild.
Dude, here's the thing. I will go on record. Sad Corbin was my favorite gimmick of that year.
The promos where he was dirty and asking people for money were...
It was so much more fun to watch. Now I just kind of watch it. Like, you know, when you watch stuff and you're kind of embarrassed that you're watching it. It's like, why am I watching these promos go down? That's kind of how I feel with the happy stuff. The sad stuff, there was some humor and like a tinge of like, oh, I don't even know the word, like despair behind it. But I love.
But there was no heat, and that's why here we are, you know?
Of course.
Now there's heat.
Well, he would have been over.
Yeah.
He would have been a big. They were like, we gotta get rid of this because he will be the biggest babyface
Which is
on
like,
the roster.
They don't understand the concept of building a babyface, and then by building this pathetic guy, had it.
Yep.
And then they were like, no, not you. You're a piece of shit. We got to keep you a piece of shit.
Oh wait, yeah, it's like, yeah, they accidentally made someone like completely relatable. It's like, you guys, we are all at home.
Yeah.
We all have mustard on our shirts because it was mid-demic.
Straight up.
When he was doing it. Like, we were all like, there was nothing more relatable than being like, setting up a GoFundMe. Yeah,
like, straight up.
Dude,
lost more money.
Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah,
it was so funny. I'm pro Corbin as well. He's apparently also a delight.
Yeah.
To work with. Like he adapted to the system. They did horrible things to this man.
Yeah.
Like couldn't have like.
And he was dude. Apparently, when he lost the Money in the Bank thing, it was because he was like speaking out big time against. He's like a CTE advocate,
right?
And was kind of speaking out against some of the practices, and that's why that happened creatively.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's rumor has it. That's the lore. Going allegedly, I'll just say.
Hey,
but,
call that.
Yeah. Come
allegedly.
Come on. I keep it coming.
We need shirts that say allegedly.
I need an allegedly button
wrestling
on here so I can just go
allegedly.
But it'll just be a button.
But yeah, we love it. We love Pat McAfee. We are Team Corbin. Bring back sad Corbin. Moving on, we got to talk about the undisputed tag championship. Good job winning the match, Pat. Like more Pat. We love it.
Yeah.
The tag match between the Usos and the Street Profits with Jeff Jarrett for reasons.
They just did that last one again, huh?
They did it. It seemed it didn't. It's a good match every time. They have now at this point. I think everybody was like
same
do it again.
Exact finish. No,
I fast forwarded through it. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I watched the first 2 minutes and I was not captivated whatsoever, and I fast forwarded. So the fact that I'm hearing from both of you that it wasn't worthwhile, I'm very.
It's not that it wasn't worthwhile, because like I can't say that because these four guys clearly have chemistry.
Incredible,
right.
But they're stuck in this
many times over though.
Exactly, they're stuck in this cycle right now where the New Day's gone, you know. So and the Usos and the New Day was like a 5-year, like I guess we're wrestling for the titles again.
It was different. The thing, the New Day and the Usos, like just every time they wrestled, it was different and it was exciting. And each time
you had a third guy to cycle in there.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
But also, I will say, I think the Money in the Bank Street Profits Usos match was better than any of the New Day Usos matches.
Ooh, I don't know about that. The Hell in the Cell was the best Hell in the Cell of the last 10 years?
I mean maybe, but I feel like just from a pure wrestling perspective, the Money in the Bank Tag Championship match was like, whoa, that was another one where I'm trying to survive a show. In the middle of it was this beautiful oasis in the desert, a fresh stream of fresh water when I've been dying of thirst. That's what that match was.
The only thing that wasn't a mirage. Yeah.
And then it because it was kind of like, okay, guys, go out there and just do your thing that you do tonight or this past weekend with the literal beat for beat same finish.
Yeah, which is a little much. Speaking of other strange decisions, Riddle and Seth Rollins had a brawl instead of a match, and they teased. It seemed like they were teasing Rollins doing another mystery opponent. People were calling for Johnny Gargano, and then that didn't happen. This is like first Seth Rollins-less SummerSlam in forever. Like, it seemed like they were building him up as like Mr. SummerSlam, and then they just we know this. I'm a Seth guy. Seth is my unlikable, very good wrestler. Like, he's a very difficult babyface, but like truly undeniable as a wrestle guy. And also, I think the John Moxley book I love him the way that John does because of the way he wrote about him. But anyway,
did you finish the book?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm about halfway, and he's a big Seth guy, but I'm wondering if there's a part. I'm not too yet, but yeah, I would have loved to have seen some kind of mystery thing. But then again, this show was 3 hours and 40 minutes, so
smart. I think smart to keep this off, but also the show. Apparently, Logan and Miz went long, and they had to cut a lot of time out of Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. So,
But did we really need more from that?
You said
you are like Alicia
fucking hates Liv Morgan
hater. No, it wasn't even about that. It's just, camera going crazy.
Enemy of...
Even my camera's going off. No, I don't know. It's one of those things where anytime I watch, there's just nothing where I'm like drawn into it at all. And then seeing Ronda do her thing, like I really enjoyed that turn towards the end. I genuinely did. But at the same time, you are going into it where everyone is admiring and loving Liv. So it's kind of like, it's always interesting when you have baby. So seeing her go off on Liv, the referees at the end doing her technical stuff like mat wrestling, I love that because she is flawless with those transitions and going from spot to spot. So I like that, but the match itself, I didn't really care for a whole
interesting finish.
I liked the ending.
Interesting finish.
Yeah,
I thought the ending was fun. Like I agree with that. Alicia, known New Jersey hater, Alicia. I think I saw so many people hating on this finish, and I was like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was
dope.
Like
the one aspect I don't like. I liked it conceptually. I think it's like literally the only thing that made sense.
Yeah.
Because they put them together this fast. But maybe don't make Liv's first title defense like the unstoppable monster, you know?
I think that this was a Vince. This was a Vince. The whole card is Vince still. And I think everybody creatively is like, we're just going to get
salvaged.
Through it.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a fun finish. I think that, like, dude, I don't think Liv. Here's the thing. Liv Morgan doesn't need to look strong at all. Like, that's not what she does. Like, I think like Ronda Rousey's a beast. She's gonna fuck her up.
Yeah.
That's always how it's gonna be. Liv Morgan is gonna be like, she's a skin of her teeth wrestler. Like that, it doesn't. I think like when you have smaller people, like the same thing in men's wrestling is in women's. Like, not every woman should be able to like hit their finisher on like or on every other woman just because they are women. Like Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, they shouldn't be like rocking people with their finishers and pinning horsewomen or whatever. They are like roll-ups, getting the fuck out
roll
of
up chicken shit type stuff. Yeah.
Not because they're not skilled. It's just like, dude, they are 5 feet tall.
Wrestling's lost. It's lost a lot of aspects where it's believable now, you know, even when it comes to like you just mentioned, height and size, intergender wrestling, like a lot of stuff when it comes to that where it's like, I don't believe this at all. But then at the same time, you have people who have these crazy gimmicks that we fall in love with that it's also completely not believable. So it's like, where do we draw the line on that, right?
Well, when it works, it works. When it's over, it's over. It's organic. You can't control it. But the whole thing about believability and the wrestlers having the self-awareness there is why, back to Bianca and Becky, that was so good. Because it's like they each knew their individual role. And Bianca is this fucking powerhouse, and Becky's like, I got to be swarmy and slimy to stay away from this. And Liv is still kind of finding her identity as the champion. Whoa, oh Lord. So yeah, I do think kind of like a happenstance, shoulders down during a tap out finish was the kind of the perfect thing for this.
Mm-hmm. I didn't hate on the ending at all. Yeah,
we're on the same page.
I think it's good. And yeah, I think that don't be afraid to do crafty unique finishes. I think that's. I'm always gonna, if it's a different finish, I'm like, at least it's kind of different. I'm usually in favor of it. Speaking of things that I am shockingly in favor of, we got to talk about the best of the 9,000 Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar matches. This last man standing match, dude. If there's Papa H deserves all the credit in the world for making this exciting.
Dude, I can hear it.
Honestly, genius.
Picture him just like, you're going to come out in a tractor, and then you're going to drive the tractor down. You're going to lift up the ring.
It was so good just from the start. As soon as you saw him riding on that thing, we're like, oh shit, this is somehow going to come into play within the match. But by no means I think he was going to lift that entire damn ring. And then which again, these are my dad's words, but I have to put him out there. He was like, it was one of either the best sells he's ever seen when it comes to Roman rolling out.
Oh my God.
Or he genuinely actually lost control, and it was a genuine reaction. But it was so good, so believable. I was like, I don't even care how ridiculous this is. This is phenomenal TV.
From the entrances, how fucking legit did Roman feel?
Dude. He's truly unbelievable.
I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take a second here, just to acknowledge my tribal chief.
Oh yeah,
I acknowledge him.
I think I think everybody is acknowledging that we love our tribal chief, and also when we booed Roman, we were booing Vince through him, because. Vince was
being shoved down everyone's throat so constantly. I mean, if it's in your face that much and it's not sticking, you almost instinctually aren't going to like it, not the person behind what's being pushed down your throat. It was always this weird thing that fans couldn't get behind because of that. You could feel the tension.
Yeah, I literally do not blame anyone who has been pushed and booed through the Vince system, because it's clear it's not their fault. Who the fuck wants to boo Roman Reigns? He's the most beautiful man on the planet.
Straight up, my God.
Straight up, no one has ever looked. I've never seen any person look that good. It's
Sexiest man alive. People Magazine, 2023.
What the? Yeah, his shirt has been off for over a year. He should have won twice in a row.
Agreed.
Let's get him nominated.
Agreed.
100. Yeah, it's outrageous. Brock. Dude, I love Cowboy Brock. I can't believe it.
Dude,
full force though too.
I was an avid I can't do Brock Lesnar guy, but dude,
nah, man, it's legendary. They feel like, for lack of a better word, superstars.
Both of them,
yeah.
In this, here's the thing: when it's off the chain, this match was proof that Papa H understands what is different about WWE and his vision for NXT. He knows exactly how to bring his version of wrestling storytelling to a stage like WWE. He understands how big it needs to be, and this was maybe the best WWE visioned match I've seen in a hot minute.
It was pure sports entertainment, and I was 100% sports entertained.
What did you think of the way that they did the Austin Theory stuff?
I thought it was
Alicia,
cool.
Pardon?
I was gonna say, what did you think of how they did the Austin Theory stuff, Alicia?
I was actually telling Colin right before we started our show that right towards the end of it, I didn't get to finish everything. So I want you guys to fill me in on exactly what went down.
Oh, so Austin Theory comes out as both boys are just laying down and he's about to cash in. He hits Roman with the briefcase, and then Brock gets up and beats the ever-loving shit out of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then,
hell yeah.
beats the shit out of him, and then Roman like throws all of the ever-loving shit that flew out of Austin Theory was then put on top of Brock Lesnar by Roman Reigns.
True.
For the victory. This is the best last man standing match I've ever seen. Like, it's the perfect. It is exactly what they should have been doing with them. Like they are monster trucks.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I had a great time. Roman looks great. Brock looks unbeatable. The monster truck aspect of it was fucking great. Just lean.
It's a good show.
Into it.
It's a good show.
It was a great show. It was a great show.
What can you say?
I loved it. I think that I personally think that Austin Theory should lose the briefcase or not successfully use it. I have a little bit of a fantasy book, if I may.
Book on, brother. Ooh.
I think
it only took you the full hour, but here you are.
The ring lights.
What?
Oh, it is actually really bright.
Every time you hit that thing, I'm like, oh shit, the connection. I think a fun way to get the briefcase off of Austin Theory would be to have him cash in at Clash at the Castle, and then you can have Drew pin him to win the belt.
Oh fuck yeah!
You give Drew his moment, like in front of the loudest crowd that he will ever get.
A bunch of screaming lads.
Oh my
Look at that boy there.
Yeah.
He's gonna take it home, lady.
Take it home.
And then but then you don't have Roman get pinned, which is, I think, more. It's more.
Still shows him strong.
Yeah. It's realistic.
Yeah. And then Roman can like beat him. Honestly, even a week later, just to get the belt, and they can be like, they can even say that like since Roman wasn't pinned, they're not even gonna count it and just keep counting the days, which is fine. I think that'd be a fun way to do it. Let's go into the music segment.
Well, we got to say bye to the live, to the people watching this later.
You know what? You're correct. You're so correct, Colin. Thank you all so much for watching this. Even though you weren't with us live, I hope you enjoyed our SummerSlam breakdown. We will see you next Monday.
Next time, watch it live so that you can be part of the music thing that we're doing right now. But if not,
it's so fun.
Bye to you, and hello again to the live guys and gals. Yeah. We now switch over.
Fries.
Hey ho! Wait.
I'm so excited to do these.
Very good. All right. Well, you want to explain the gimmick today so that I don't have to talk?
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, today, welcome if it's your first time watching. Welcome to Entrance Theme Remix. It's a show where we rebook entrance music for different wrestlers throughout all history, and it each time it's not necessarily about if they have bad music or good music. It's just about us trying to find some other music that fits the character. And today, since the man just had his last match with an iconic entrance, we are gonna pick new entrance music for the man. honestly, what, the greatest wrestler of all time, Ric Flair?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I can't even debate that.
Nobody like no wrestler would ever. It's kind of down to science at this point.
Woo!
Yeah, it's like he a mess of a man, but like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
He's the most iconic wrestler of all time. Like, people will do the Hulk Hogan impression, but like everybody knows a Ric Flair. Nothing you can do about it.
It's true.
Who's lined up first, Colin?
I've got you lined up first, Jordan.
Well, let's get the fuck into it.
Yep.
So, since as I mentioned, Ric Flair is a messy man, with a lot of charisma. So I think that also Ric Flair is probably one of two iconic messy blonde men that have a big connection, that have like a big feature in my life. So I think the only person who should be allowed to write music for Ric Flair is David Lee Roth. It took me a long time to figure out which David Lee Roth written song, whether it should be a Van Halen song or a solo song. But for someone as big as Ric Flair, big and iconic as Ric Flair, there's only one song that I felt could fit someone as equally iconic. I think David Lee Roth lyrics fit Ric Flair's fucking personality better than anything. So
he's singing his fucking life story every time.
Every time. Yeah. It was hard not to give him Run with the Devil, but this is just much more the Ric Flair vibe.
It is.
Let's do this.
All right. For Jordan's pick, here is Van Halen's seminal classic, Jump.
Jump. Got him.
Oh, he's boogieing with it.
You sure have. You sure have, Rick.
Yes.
Baby, just how you feel.
Maybe not that one. Maybe you don't know.
Roll with the punches and get to what's real.
Just, the man is suffering with this belt.
Can't deal with it.
I eat the worst that you've seen. Can't you see what I mean? Might as well jump. Might as well jump.
Yeah.
Go ahead and jump. Go ahead and jump.
Oh, hey you.
Hey,
Who
you.
said that?
Who said that? Baby, how you, baby?
I mean, yeah, that was pretty legendary.
Yeah.
That was great. That was a fantastic, fantastic pick. I say this every week. Everyone crushes it on these.
It's just, you can do pretty much anything, and you're like, you know what? It works.
It's so true, though.
Yours, Alicia, though. I think tempo-wise, spiritually, I think you really nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
very
You want
much.
to tell us about it?
So, indeed. So, lyrically, when it comes to the song that I chose today, it begins with, "And now the end is here, and so I face that final curtain." Of course, this was the very last time that Rick will be walking through that curtain, watching a few stumbles throughout the way, both metaphorically when it comes to his life and that match. There's also the line, "Regrets, I've had a few." So I decided to go with Frank Sinatra, "My Way." And it's also an older track, one of which has a very geriatric kind of, let's just say, connection.
Very
so
appropriate.
I decided to go with this one because that entrance was difficult to watch. So everybody, please enjoy.
I'm going to tell you something, Alicia, that I didn't tell you before this. This is my favorite song of all time.
Is it really?
It is. So here is
Oh my goodness.
Frank Sinatra, my
Amazing.
karaoke classic, Frank Sinatra, "My Way."
I can't wait.
And now the end is near, and so I face
Oh my God.
the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it
I love
clear.
this.
I'll state
Oh my God.
case, which I'm certain.
Oh my
I've
God.
lived
This
a
is
life
amazing.
that's full.
This is so dark.
I
It's
traveled
incredible.
and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few.
Just suffering with
He
this fucking-
definitely does.
But then again,
Too
few
few
to mention. I did what I had.
It feels
to
like a
do.
bit.
It does.
It
Saw
really
it.
does.
This is like you Alicia, you have like booked a
exemption.
Nathan Fielder.
I planned
The plan:
each
get
Enjoy
Ric
the
Flair to
horse.
walk out to my way.
each
Yeah.
careful step
Oh,
along the byway, and more, much more than this.
right as he hits the
did it
ring.
My way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all,
Yes.
when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my
Fucking hell.
way.
The timing.
I've
Good shit. Oh,
Beautiful.
so many tears. So many tears.
I had to make like a little video at my uncle's funeral a few years ago.
Did you do it to my
And it
way?
was
Brutal,
my
dude.
aunt specifically asked that I do it to my way. So Alicia, when you dropped that in the chat, I was like, poof, too real.
Yeah.
Shit is real.
It's the greatest song ever.
Uncle Rick. Uncle Rick is walking into the dirt.
He
baby.
sure is, man. All right, well, it's time for my pick. You guys
Yeah,
ready?
go off.
All right,
Yeah, go, baby.
I figured Ric Flair's old as fuck, right? So at this
No
point,
way.
At this
You
point,
don't
Established that, I think.
so at this point, I figure he comes blood. So I picked Cannibal Corpse. I come blood.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
People just going, holy shit, Rick's fucking crazy.
After his blade job in that match, I
Yeah.
think he probably did
This-
come blood.
The audience, this guy comes blood. I'll tell you.
This guy loves blading so much he comes,
He
blood.
comes blood. Now, right, the belt reveal with the fucking mosh bar. Eventually.
These were all way too real.
Yeah. He really does come blood.
We know it as a fact now, so we might as well just rely on
So
it.
true. All right, joke landed. That's
That was phenomenal. All of these were so wrong and so right. It's just.
Have you ever
it's
seen
just-
a live video of them playing that song?
I saw them
great.
live, but it was before being like crazy familiar with all of their discography, and I just remember being like, "What the fuck? This is amazing!"
Well, Corpse Grinder.
Weirdest.
Corpse Grinder will say,
Craziest shows.
he'll say, this next song is about shooting blood out your dick. It's called I Come Blood. And it's just like,
it's so good.
yeah.
Did speaking of Coming Blood, did I ever tell y'all about
Speaking
how I
of
like
Coming Blood.
my
Where
first?
is this going?
Well, I was gonna say the first time I saw Guar, I saw a couple breaking up in the middle of the show, like right in front of me.
Were they
like,
getting
the two people,
like good jizzed on by the
dude?
aliens?
Like literally mid fight, the guy was just like, "I just don't know how you can do this to me." And Odorous is literally spraying blood jizz all over them. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's amazing.
I felt like bad laughing at like clearly two people who are having like a hard time, but I love that they like sucked it up, like whatever. Like we'll talk about this later.
We'll talk about it after. We'll talk about it after Sick of You, okay?
Yeah.
Which is, let's be honest here.
Unbelievable.
Sick of You. Maybe the best rock song of all time.
Literally of all time.
Of all time. All right, that's it for the show today.
Love those boys. That is it for the show. Alicia, you technically won tonight's entrance theme remix.
Big time.
Colin threw the fight, but in spectacular fashion.
Thanks.
I
did.
Love it.
I'm not going to top my favorite song, so I had to make the guy come blood.
Yeah, 100%.
I fought dirty today.
At that point, I was like, I should also just go off. We're not going to defeat My Way. It was the winner.
It's the GOAT.
Thank you.
See you guys next Monday. See everybody watching next Monday. Thank you. Oh, Love Chat XYZ, best adult dating site.
We are the best adult dating site.
Thank you so much. All right. End stream. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.